Hey friends, it's Renee Bradshaw. I'm here doing a um, past life reading for a client. It's a birthday twin of mine, so that's cool. This is my last tarot reading video of 2017, and I'm excited and a little bit nervous about my break, my time away from my shop. I did go ahead and make some gift certificates available within my shop and put up notices and stuff, but I am starting my break today. So this order was put in yesterday, and this is my last day without kids, so I'm finishing up my orders. But this is my last video reading of the year. So as you'll notice, birthday twin, that's what I'm going to call you, you bought the 8 card past life reading, but I'm kind of switching things up. I'm going to be relabeling that when we come back from break. That is like the larger past life reading now, because it is easier in a video where I can just kind of pull and work with whatever energy and whatever I'm feeling with the guides that day for however to do it. So yes, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, I kind of started feeling this spread for past life. And then as I was doing this, I was also shuffling my as above deck from the Book of Shadows Tarot, and I received a few cards here. I'm just gonna, can we see these? Probably not. Now, let me see. So I'll just show you these. These are not part of your past life. These are just something that the guides just wanted to talk to me about. So, and then we'll get into your past life. But I'm definitely drawn to you. It's weird. I feel like you're a social introvert or an extroverted introvert, if that makes sense to you. Because I'm seeing like the very first card, and it just like flipping shot out the deck and the straight up in the air, is the 3 of water, which is usually the 3 of cups, which is usually 3 women celebrating. But I really feel like you really enjoy your company. I feel like, I don't know anything about you outside of your birthday, and that you're curious about your life's purpose. So, and some of this past life's connection to that. But, so, everything that I'm getting is pretty much from the guides, and I'm not sure who these people are, but I see a few really, really close people to you, like the people that don't count in that kind of introverted energy, like the people that you can be around and not feel worn out. But I was definitely feeling like either, if you're married or have children, or if you're very close to a couple of relatives, or even have like a couple extremely good friends. I feel like those are the people that really fill your energy instead of pulling it from you. But I do feel that you do have some of that introverted tendency there, where some of your getting together in big crowds and stuff can really pull some of that energy away from you. And I know that you said that you're intuitive, so I could definitely see that. Like if you are also an empath at all and you're drawing energy from other people, I can see that for sure within these cards. And then the Maiden of Air and the 5 of Air. And the Maiden of Air, hold on now, I'm sorry. I need to see, because I'm pretty sure that is the, in my head, the what do you call it, maiden Knight. And yes, the Knight. Okay. Sorry, I haven't worked with the as above deck a lot. I was talking with one of my favorite clients about that yesterday, and how I'm going to start working with that more in the new year. But some of them are labeled a little bit differently. So but that would typically be your Knight of Swords, your 5 of Swords. So here, with this imagery, I'm really feeling like, I know you said you're intuitive, but I'm really picking up like psychic in you, and I feel maybe, and I feel like the reason this came out of the deck is because you said you're pretty intuitive, but you don't pick up on past life stuff. So I feel like a lot of this came out, it popped out of the deck, like as I was trying to get ready to kind of tell you maybe why you're not picking up that past life stuff. So I feel like you do have really good psychic tendencies and abilities inside of you, but I feel like some of it goes in your mind and some of it is you doubting yourself. And then I also feel like there's some of that because of this whole introvert energy that I was collecting here. I feel that some of it, your psychic abilities can sometimes get zapped just by that energy being zapped. So with this being tied up in the mind, I'm really feeling like you sometimes do get flashes of past life or dreams about past life, but your mind, I feel like you have kind of like this logical part of your mind that says, no, that's just, my imagination running away, or, just a random thought that came to me or something. So I really feel like you do have that ability to pick up on your own past lives, and I feel like that your guides have maybe sometimes showed you bits from time to time, and it's definitely like that mind, that logical part of you is kind of pushing them away or rationalizing them. But I really feel like that's why this came out of the deck before I even got into the past life, was just like your guides wanted you to know you do have this ability. I think they want you to work on it, practice it, open yourself to believing more. I feel like you are a believer, and you do believe your intuition, but I feel like sometimes the past life stuff can seem so fantasy or seem so imaginative that we have a hard time picking up on it. I know I do for myself. I've always had an easier time finding information about other people's past lives than my own until more recently. But that's definitely a skill that you can work on. But I really do feel like that's what the guides were basically saying. So anyway, sorry for the ramble and the sidetrack. I hope you don't mind. Sometimes I just want to go over some other stuff. But so the new way I've been pulled to do these past life video readings is going into a early life, midlife, later life and death, and then your present life and its effect. And I'm pulling a goddess guidance card for each of these parts of your life, and then also the tarot that I'm using here is the Everyday Witches Tarot. Okay, so we're going to get into that, and then my fingers do like to fidget lately while I'm working, and I just find, I got this crystal ball kind of like I was like, oh, we'll see what I can do with it, and I've never really looked into it and seen anything, but I find a lot of times I'm doing this and like picking stuff up by just kind of twirling. So first of all, we have the card Gemania. Important doors are opening for you right now. Walk through them. So this is your early life and this past life we're tapping into. So what I'm feeling is like this was definitely, a life where doors were open, paths were open. You were probably born into, it'll come more as we're going along, but probably born into a family who I would say would be modern equivalent of upper middle class, is what I'm feeling, that many opportunities were open to you. You basically could do a lot of whatever you wanted. I'm feeling this three of Pentacles pulling me in next after the page. I'm feeling like a lot of creative energy here, obviously, but I'm getting like this vision now, like Greece, ancient Greece, and I'm seeing your parents, primarily your father. I feel like your parents, like their relationship was kind of like, I guess you would say like a modern day hippie bohemian type relationship is what I'm feeling, like a very open partnership. I feel like this was not uncommon for the time period that I'm looking into, but I feel they are both artists. Your father, I feel like, was a sculptor, and your mother was a little bit of a dabbler, but I feel like your father was fairly successful at that time. I couldn't tell you if I'm picking up on him being someone we would be able to find in a history book right now or anything like that, but I can tell you that he was pretty popular at that time, and called to. I can see him being called to many places to do work. So I feel like there was this openness of you guys being on the road a lot, but it wasn't like, caravan type situation. It was definitely, you would get somewhere and you'd be put up in a lovely home or a hotel, or I don't know what the hotels would be called at the time, but or if there were, but I do feel that you were definitely taken care of financially. The strength card just coming up in here, I feel as though is really telling me this is your father. He wasn't afraid of anyone. There wasn't really any reason for you guys to worry at this time. There may have been other problems at the time. There may have been a war going on. There may have been imperfections in lifestyle, and like the whole system, like the money system I see, but I feel that you were very, very unaffected by this for the most part while you were growing up. So I was just felt the number 12 kind of hop in as when things started to change, and we'll get into more of that in a minute, but I feel like the age of 12, things really changed. It's almost like there was a difference in belief from what your father had been, like his sculpting had been somehow connected maybe to the gods or to just ancient mysticism. I'm feeling like running, like I'm feeling this situation where you were running and it was like a happy, joyful, playful run, jaunt, laughing friends, and then all of a sudden like a halt and a fear, and things really stepping in. I feel as though you witnessed something happening to your parents. I really feel like all this connection and strength and non-worry that basically took you through the first few years of your life was suddenly yanked away. And I'm feeling very much from 12 on that you had to defend yourself, take care of yourself, live more in squalor and poverty than you had in these early years. So it was very much, like a modern, even like, the modern kid. I don't know if you would say 12, but, you kind of live with your parents and they take care of everything, that you don't really need to worry about anything. And then suddenly one day, everything could change and you would have no idea what to do. So I feel like that was very much what happened to you at the age of 12. And that's probably, I feel like many children growing up during this time would have had basic skills of taking care of themselves and maybe farming or knowing what to do, but I feel like you had this artistic skill that you had, that had been grown through the years as you, with your parents, encouraged by them, and then, at this point where you were on your own, this artistic skill didn't really do much for you. So that's very early what I'm getting. And yeah, so if I start kind of sounding weird, sometimes like guides. I can feel like my head getting heavy when I'm in a right direction or something, and I really won't remember much of what we talked about when everything's over. So then the next card, let me look up how to pronounce her name, because I really hate butchering the goddess's names. I'm just a horrible, horrible witch. Sarasvati. Sarasvati. Okay. So express yourself through creative activities. That's okay. So that was definitely this whole vibe here, with your family, with them having you do this stuff. And so then we're seeing right away like this creative goddess and finding creative activities. And that was like maybe the way you were trying to make your money. And so let's see, these were reversed. And I'm automatically getting like money wasn't forthcoming in this way, but we shall see. Okay, so yeah, I feel this 10 of cups, like the family being removed. I really, oh God, I wish I was better with history, because I can just kind of see things, but I'm not, I don't have a complete understanding of why, and I'm listening, but I'm not hearing. But I don't feel like your parents, oh, I don't feel like your mother died. I feel as though your father was killed. There was some reason why he was killed. At the end of this other part we were in, and at that point, your mother, I feel like, was taken into slavery, and either you escaped. That was like that running I felt you doing, and you were gone out of there. But you were very much on your own, just like we were. Just like we were seeing. So then this whole passing down and heritage kind of situation here with the 6 of Cups, and it being reversed. So I really feel like your parents did you a disservice at this time, or at least that's how it ended up being. That they gave, pretty much at this time, it was like a disservice by you only had like those artistic skills and abilities. I feel like you had. Okay, so the reason why I'm feeling this disservice is I feel like when you were growing up, you were given some education, you were given some painting skills, some sculpting, some musical. I feel like you were given like little bits of everything, and so it wasn't like a disservice, because they didn't know they were going to be leaving you, and you should have grown up all the way with them and then become a master of one of these things, and you would have done wonderfully. But because of the way the situation went, it was like you had little bits of everything. So with the arts card, and it definitely feeling like this was still something maybe that you tried to make your way doing, like maybe you were offering services. I can see like your hands like cleaning brushes and doing different things. So I feel like even though your parents were gone and there was no one who really stepped up and took care of you, I do feel that your parents have been important enough and enough in the artist community that other people kind of took you in here and there and like allowed you to do odd jobs, and for like food and shelter and stuff. So I'm definitely getting that with the Hierophant right here. This is like that, upright. It's like this great spiritual leader reversed abuse of power. So I feel like during this time there was someone who definitely abused their power over you. I don't see like physical abuse, sexual abuse, anything like that, but I do see like taking way too much advantage of like your working skill. I can see you getting better and like kind of perfecting, like feeling a particular art and kind of perfecting it, and then kind of being taken under the wing of one of your parents' old friends, or friends, comrades. Actually ended up being a backstabber, but sorry, I just got really mad at them. So I'm feeling that like you had these natural gifts and they got really strong, and I feel as though they took advantage of that, like as in they didn't allow you to know how well you were doing, and you were kind of in the house like doing a lot of work, physical labor, and then you were doing like this painting, I'm feeling like, and then they were taking the credit, I feel, um, out there, definitely the credit feeling, um, and that definitely made you like there was no getting out of this situation. Basically, this is just like a a real crappy situation, um, that you were stuck in. Um, I feel there was probably a time or two you tried to escape, but that you were brought back in. And I feel like these times you tried to escape, they were almost in like mundane little ways. Like there were definitely more times where the person that you stayed with was like away out of town, on the other part of the country or something like that, and you didn't leave then because things seemed easier then. They felt better then when they were gone. It was like when they were gone, it was like the rest of it was just a bad dream. It wasn't really happening. And so you stayed. And then when they returned, it would be like you would try to escape again, but it was not easy to escape. Um, so I do feel like there was eventually a way out, and I know we're gonna see that in the next group of cards here. But I'm not feeling right now um, like a joyful later life. I'm still feeling kind of like a rough later life, like a tortured artist, I guess. Maybe you invented the phrase, I don't know. But I'm definitely feeling, that it's not so bad here. I could just stay here, and then when he would come back, I definitely keep getting mail. When he would come back, um, things would get worse again. So then reversed, we have guiding children. You are good at helping, counseling, and healing children. Use your skills to help children now. So with this being reversed, I really feel as though this was probably not true in this life. And not only that, but I'm drawn to when you finally escape, that you never you kept what had happened to you so close to your heart, and that worry and that fear and that upset, that you decided to never have children. You decided, I feel as though you were a lot of reverse cards here, that you were a hermit or a loner for the rest of your life, that you didn't find yourself having an easy connection with a lot of people. You kept in your heart like that connection you had with your parents growing up, and you wanted that again, but only with your parents, and you knew you could never have it. And I feel as though you didn't even know your mom became a slave. I feel like you honestly thought she had died when your father died. So, my head. Yeah, so this reversed Ten of Pentacles, like never finding that family again. Definitely that right there. Reversed Five of Pentacles, finding that light at the end of the tunnel, getting to the end of the struggle and finding your way. I don't feel like there was an end of the struggle. Definitely tortured artist feel. That reverse Knight of Swords, I feel like maybe you did spend some time waiting for someone to rescue you. Waiting for someone to come and help you and let you know it would be okay, and kind of help you get out of this situation. And then I feel that eventually you just had to take that yourself. I kind of see a violent end to the person you live with, and then just an escape after that. But and then a lot of flying under the radar. And money and goods and everything weren't as easy to transport and harbor and hide back then, especially I feel as though, there was that bad ending here. I feel like that was at your hands, definitely. I'm seeing like maybe him falling, and you could have gotten help. I feel like he slipped and he fell and hit his head, and you could have gotten help, and you decided to just stay and wait, and then it was like it I feel like almost a week went by, and then you fled. Like, people were starting to wonder where he was, and you fled. And money was like pretty heavy back then. You couldn't bring a lot of it with you, so you never did like gain that financial security in your life. And I see like a lot of fleeing this way, fleeing that way. I see not really collecting roots. I feel like you definitely were on the road a lot, but I don't feel that you ever let yourself get in this situation again, because I feel like when you first got there to his place, you thought that he was going to really help you, and he did not, obviously. I guess he kept you fed, but he treated you awfully, and because of this, you never let yourself settle down, never let yourself feel a strong connection with anyone. And I feel like these that we were seeing in the beginning is a lot of that, keeping a small, close connection with people, and not really living in like the loud outside world. I feel like there's probably times where you have to and you're okay, but I feel that it does drain some of your energy, and that you definitely do better with the certain people that you have decided that are worth your time and energy. And I feel a lot of that here. I feel a lot of that in this past life. I'm feeling like there's like a lot of creative energy here. Obviously, so I don't know if you're like a creative person, like if you do painting or pottery or fiber arts or anything creative now, but I feel like there's definitely creative energy inside of you. I wouldn't even be surprised if you're like a strong singer, or have a good like a good tone. Like, what's the opposite of tone deaf? Because I'm tone deaf, so what's the opposite of that? And I feel like I feel like that's something that you might even be. But there's definitely that strong like creative energy coming out of this life. Unfortunately, you were never really able to super be a master of any, but I feel that you were definitely taken advantage of in the creativity that you had. And then I do feel that keeping other people away, keeping a very close circle situation. I feel that the Queen of Swords, like that that energy of logical, strict, and I feel like we had that sword, that air energy over here too, and we did a few cards, but I feel like this is definitely like that. You've kind of made up your mind, or you've decided something, and that's very much what you'll do. You're not going to get overly emotionally involved with too many people, because I feel like probably in this current lifetime you've been burned, but then especially in that last lifetime, I wouldn't say last lifetime, because I'm feeling this is quite some time ago. Like I said, I'm feeling like very ancient Greece, but I couldn't quite tell you what year. Like, sometimes I get a year. I did not get a year today. I did get Helena or Helen, Elena just now as a name. Sometimes the guides do provide that. So I feel like that was your first name in this lifetime, was that Helen, Ellen, Helena, Ana, Elena, Ana. I don't know anyone named Ana. But then the Six of Pentacles reversed came up here, looking into your death. And so I feel like that was just something where you really kept yourself away from everyone. There was a point where you could have probably received some more help at a later point in your years. Maybe someone who had been a fan of your parents, I'm feeling, could have helped you. There was a chance for them. I feel like they did contact you and try to help you, but that you pushed them away. I feel like they were probably about 20 or 30 years younger than you, and you didn't trust them. I'm feeling like some like some dementia at this point, or paranoia. And I mean, who wouldn't, after your art had been stolen and sold under someone else's name and you couldn't keep your money and everything. So I'm definitely feeling it was like a more of a sad, alone kind of death. So that's what I'm getting for the end of that lifetime. I just got the number like 336. I feel like that's something to do with your lifetime. I don't know if that's year of birth or year of death. The guides didn't quite give me more than that. They just placed the number 336 in my mind. So here, this is interesting. So this current life, a lot of let me see, a lot of positive. Here, let me do this. A positive, upright energy. So first we'll go. And since this is the current life, I do want to read from the guidebook here. Peel, divine passion. Be honest with yourself. What's your heart's true desire? If you listen to the sound of your heart and breath, you'll recognize the ancient rhythms of your own internal drumming. This forever connects you to the mother of all creation and to the sound of the planet Earth. These rhythms cannot be faked or forged. They're natural and eternal. What part of you are you trying to ignore? What part of you has been overly concerned with pleasing others to the detriment of hearing the sounds of your own rhythm? Dear child, reach out, extend your arms to embrace your dreams. They're just as much a part of nature as the trees, animals, and the sunsets. Don't your own dreams deserve the same respect that you accord to anyone and everything that you love? Listen to them, my child. Listen to your dreams. They'll activate the powerful eruption of passion in your life. Don't be afraid of your own passion, for it will propel you and naturally will excite and invigorate you when you dance to the rhythms of your life. You're truly alive in all ways. So some various meanings. One of them that really pops out at me, and I don't know why, actually there's two that pop out at me. And again, this is my first reading I've done for you. So I haven't read a lot of your energy yet, but these two come out from your guides for your energy. Make sure your career matches your true interests, and take a class or hobby that really excites you. Those really appeal to me. I feel like I'm just that creative energy I feel inside of you again. No, did I call her Peel? Pele, the Hawaiian goddess of volcanoes. I am the worst at pronunciation. Pele's dynamic strength is sometimes misunderstood. She shows us that fire can purify, release us from the old way to make way for the new and ignite our passions. Without fire, nothing would change. Call upon Pele to help you get in touch with your true passion and to charge up your motivation and excitement. Pele will help you feel everything on a deeper level, so be unafraid of taking actions to manifest your heart's true desire. So here, before I get into this, I did just want to point out something very interesting that I'm noticing here, that each segment of your previous life, so let me find 2 and 3. Each of them had a major arcana card in them. And this part of your life, this new life that you're in now, has 2. So when I see those coming up in past life readings, I feel like it's something the guides are telling. We've tapped into something that has a really direct, deep connection to each other. Like that universal connection, definitely. Like it's not just, I mean, we have tons and tons of lives, so it's not just one of them that might have not really had a strong effect. But I'm really feeling like this one had a strong effect, and like that extroverted introvert thing I was getting at the beginning, if that even makes sense. I don't know if that's a word, phrase. And then in that that creative thing. So I feel like this is definitely a connection here. So we're going to start with the 6 of Swords. And again, with like that swords air energy, and withdrawing, retreating. Um, I'm pulled to you have a good head on your shoulders when you know that you've had too much interaction with people. And if it is a possibility for you to retreat at that time, you do. However, I feel that this directly can sometimes keep you from maybe experiencing new activities, getting together with new people, and learning new hobbies because there are people there that you don't know, or maybe there's too many people there. So I feel that this card says, you know when you've had enough. Definitely listen to yourself, trust your intuition, but that from time to time it's still good to make yourself uncomfortable, as long as you don't make yourself dangerously uncomfortable, or force yourself into a situation that is not safe. But I feel that there's definitely here a chance for you to push yourself a little bit more often to get more out of life, out of these hobbies and interests that you have, and things that you want to build and grow upon. So then we have the Nine of Pentacles, which is cool because it's upright, for one. And we saw a lot of reverse pentacle energy as your life was progressing. So this one, is that abundance, that time of relaxation. So I feel like probably over several lifetimes that you built that pretty good intuition. And I feel like things, maybe some of that intuition came fairly easy for you in this lifetime. And because of that, you feel like that resting, like you can rest and don't have to push yourself very far. But this card was drawing me directly to the reverse star card, which is like one of the most positive cards, of course. And then reversed, I really feel it as like this blocked energy. Like I feel like there's something more inside of you, and I know straight away those extra cards the guides were showing me, like with that extra psychic ability that you have with things being inside of you. I feel like, especially if you are interested in doing a lot of past life work, I feel like you do have abilities to kind of start seeing into your past life. Like maybe keep some of this in your mind when you go to bed and see if some of it comes to you, some of the dream comes to you. And I feel like this is not a dream, this is an imagination. This is your past life coming to you, after being awakened here when you listened and accepted some of this information. So I really feel like this is just a blocked, like this, I don't have to, like, I do have these intuition, these abilities. This is probably all I have because I was born with this. There is more that you can untap. I really feel like that's what I've been getting like the whole time. Is there's definitely more inside of you that you can tap into and bring out. And it's a process. I mean, a long process. A lot of us have been, some of us were born with natural gifts. Other of us have to work really hard for it, and some of us takes years and years, and some things happen quicker than others. So it's just like this long process, I feel like. And then this Judgment card, I've definitely drawn to let go of the mirror, let go of the I don't feel, I'm not getting like this energy like you're highly competitive or pushy, wanting to be like other people. But I do feel that you can look at other people and say they're able to do this or able to do that. I can't, so I'm gonna stop. This isn't for me. It's not my calling. I really feel like there's that creative gift inside of you, that creative gift, and I feel like a lot of it might be twisted up in your psychic abilities and your intuition, just because of how this past life kind of meshed out like that. And I feel like it's all kind of connected and twisted up, and you have to kind of unravel. It's like you're unraveling like a tangled up ball of yarn, find the end and start untangling. So I feel like this is definitely, this is your journey. Don't look at so-and-so, don't look at, John and say, well, John is able to do this and I can't, and that must mean I'm not supposed to do it because, it came easier for him, or he only had to work on it for 5 years and I've been working on it for 8 years and it's not like his. We're all on our own individual journeys. So I feel like that mirror is something that you have to drop, you have to let go of. So I'm really tied to that mirror, that there's something, you put yourself down, or don't believe in yourself because you see it, maybe you think it's coming easier for other people, but we don't see all their struggles, we don't see all the work they put through, and also some things have come easier to you in this lifetime than they have to others. Like this guiding children card, like towards the end it came up reversed for the end of your life to tell me that you didn't, that life was solitary for you. But I feel like that's something in this lifetime, that maybe you're meant to be a mother, or you're meant to be a teacher of young children, or there's just something about you, like maybe when you're in a restaurant, you smile and can get like a cranky baby to smile or laugh or something. But I feel like that came easier to you than maybe it came to other people. And I feel like that was like a gift related to this past life. But I definitely feel like there's that creative and that psychic energy in you that's waiting to wake up. But you have to, like, first put yourself in a few situations you don't necessarily want to go into. And that might be something that you're already working on too. Sometimes this isn't like these are the things you have to do, but these are the things you have to do, and you're currently working on that. And that's awesome. Well, thumbs up. Green, as my daughter says, green choice. Then the Nine of Pentacles, again, it's that there's more studying, there's more work to be done for you, I feel like. And then here, just this, I feel like as soon as you put that mirror down, as soon as you put, like, if you're on social media and you the next time you feel like, oh God, that just came so easy to them, they've got it all. Sometimes the grass is greener on the other side because it's fake. It's like that plastic, right? So I feel like as soon as you're able to kind of stop judging yourself, you're going to have like this huge change. And again, I'm really drawn to like this creative energy. So I am super curious to hear from you after you see this, and you don't have to let me know right away, but you can let it sit with you for a few days if you want. But if there, like, if there's something that you've already kind of been working towards creatively, and how you feel about that whole mirror, dropping the mirror. Is there someone in particular, or is there a path, a particular skill, that you are judging yourself on, that you think you can't do or won't ever do because it didn't come as naturally as it did to someone else. But that was your past life reading. That really, like, these past life readings used to be like quite a bit not as energy draining. I feel like a lot of my energy goes into them, and then I have to kind of pull energy up as I'm done, because I used to use that very structured format that I still use for PDF readings just because it works better in PDF. But doing the video readings, I just kind of let myself do whatever the guides are kind of directing me to at the time, and I just get really exhausted by the end, and I get kind of like, I hope I wasn't just sitting here babbling for 45 minutes, but I hope I actually made some sense, and made some sense, and it resonated with you. I did just get this compulsion to draw one more goddess card for you. So again, this just Pele, be honest with yourself and your true heart's desire. Whoop, 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 whoop. Well, if one card shoots out, it's the guides. If every card shoots out, it's my zombie fingers. does it. And I'm going to look up her name so I do not butcher it, because I will. Oh. Her name is pronounced Ona. Ona. There's no need to hurry or force things to happen. Everything is occurring in perfect timing. Don't worry so much about your purpose or goals. Just move forward. Slow and steady progress in opening yourself. So that's definitely there with everything else. It's just really pushing, I guess not pushing, not shoving or forcing or going fast, but just being honest with yourself and start moving forward in that direction that you want to do. But again, you know, the guides are really drawing me to like an artistic something or another, creative side of you. So I hope you enjoyed your past life reading. Thank you for ordering it, and this is my last video reading of 2017. So if you have been watching and you did not order this reading, don't worry, my shop will be back open all the way on January 2nd, and currently you can buy a gift certificate for yourself or anyone else you want to provide a gift certificate for a past life reading. That will be provided a week, or the gift certificate comes automatically, but I'll be doing readings again starting the week of January. So I hope you guys have a really blessed day and a really blessed holiday, no matter the reason for your season. All right, bye.